A shameless Tanzanian MP has threatened to impregnate Martha Karua. Here's a tip.
Mwanamke mmoja anaitwa Martha Karua anaenda Dar es Salaam. Sasa mimi niombe ubalozi wa Tanzania kule Nairobi, akiomba visa ya kuja Tanzania wampitishe Sirali, maana Wakenya wameshindwa kumpa mimba ili watu watalime. Sisi tunakula mtama ili tumpe mimba, tumjaze, akirudi Kenya atakuwa amepata mimba za kutosha. Haiwezekani. Wamevuruga Kenya yao, wanakuja kutuvuruga na sisi wa Tanzania. Leo mimi ngicho nasema, huyu mpitisha Sirali kabla hajafika Tarime atakuwa na mimba za kumtosha yule mama, maana hajawahi kuzaa. Asikie uchungu wa mtoto kwa sababu wanaume hapo Kenya wa kumzalisha. Aje Tanzania tumzalisha.
And bunge la wananchi responded with this.
Mama Samia Suluhu, ukitaka sisi kama Wakenya tukusamee na tukusahau yale ulisema, Steve Simba Boy lazima upe Steve Simba Boy mtoto. Tutakusamea. Hapo tutakusamea. Lakini kama sio hivyo, hakuna, itaendelea. Vita itaendelea. Vita itaendelea. Lazima uzae na Steve Simba Boy mtoto cute. Cause huyo ndio handsome wa Kenya.
Now this just goes a long way to confirm that the thinking capacity of a Tanzanian MP is similar to that of a bunge la mwananchi member in Kenya. Anywho, that's not what we're here for. This childish back and forth between the two nations confirms that the relationship between Kenya and Tanzania is deteriorating. And if there are two people to blame for it, it will have to be none other than the following two people from where I sit. Top of the list is Mudavadi. Mudavadi is the current CS of Foreign Affairs, and as such, it was his job to defuse the bomb the very moment Boniface Mwangi put up this post.
I've taken the glass that was on top of this table over here, taken those two chairs, locked my door over here to ensure that in case they break in, I at least have a head start to start recording a video of my arrest. But I hope I don't get arrested. I'm all dressed up. I'm wearing my Marvin because if they arrest you and it's cold, you're gonna suffer. So I'm ready to be arrested, but I don't want to go to jail. I haven't done anything wrong. And Suluhu is a coward and a murderer. So I'll try and sleep with my shoes on or myself in the bed as I wait. But I'm so sure I can't sleep because, well, anxiety about what's going to happen. Thank you for the solidarity. One day shall liberate our continent from bad leadership. Suluhu doesn't have to kill and disappear people to be re-elected. If she's unpopular, go home and retire. You have made so much money. You have stolen so much money. You have sold the country to the UAE. Your opponents are in jail or dead. Even you will die to Madam Suluhu. You're a dictator and a coward.
But instead, what did Mudavadi do? He lectured Kenyans and said, tunapeleka tabia mbaya Tanzania. And that's the moment Kenyans realized that they are on their own. And so they began raising alarm online and taking the fight to the Tanzanian authorities just so that Boniface could be released. In fact, Brian Weke, while on Bramwell's show, said it best. Here's a tip.
Yes! Na niliona msali ya Mudavadi, huyu ni mtu mjinga sana. Bosi wa huyu. I want to repeat ndo unisikize. Hakuna mtu mjinga kama msali ya Mudavadi.
Don't say that, brother.
Ati wewe ni minister wa foreign affairs.
Surely.
Watu wako ukisikia nimesema ni mjinga na nitarudia. Ni kama hujanisikiza. Hakuna mtu mjinga kama msali ya Mudavadi. Na ukitaka nirudie mara nne nitarudia. Bram, let me tell you. You cannot be a minister.
You have to withdraw and apologize.
Mtu mjinga si ni mjinga. Mtu mjanja ni mjanja. Mtu sharp ni sharp. Hiyo hata uwezi niuliza na kotini, uwezi nipeleka, ukiniuliza nasema ukweli. He fumbled. Bram, utaulizwaje watu wako wameshikwa? Watu ambao wamekata ndege yao, watu ambao wamekata room yao, watu ambao wameenda kuobserve. Bram Ololo, ati unasema tunapeleka bad manners yetu.
Bad manners.
I for one agree with those remarks. Mudavadi chose to lecture Kenyans and Ruto chose to caution Suluhu. So it's settled. We don't need a CS of Foreign Affairs sababu hatusaidia hata kidogo. Second person to be blamed is the Tanzanian authorities. Yes, I know they didn't want Boniface Mwangi getting involved in the case of Tindi Lisu, but there's more subtle things that they could have done to avoid a diplomatic storm. Like what stops them from blocking Boniface Mwangi in his hotel room. Just prevent him from leaving. Keep him in that hotel and then deport him back to Kenya. That isn't right, but it's much better than abducting somebody, putting them in a dark room. From what I hear, Agatha was raped. We don't know what happened to Boniface Mwangi. He's yet to speak, and that's unlike him. So clearly something happened and it ain't right. Even here in Kenya, if we have a foreigner coming to our country who we don't agree with at all, or we suspect that they have come with ill motives, the most we can do is return them back to their country. No need to abduct them and torture them unless they're here to commit terrorist activities. If you're here to plant a bomb or to do something nefarious, we will of course extort as much information from you in whichever means necessary for the sake of the security of our own citizens. But if you're just here for political reasons, either you have come here to promote LGBTQ, umekuja kuharibu siasa za Kenya, umekuja na agenda or whatever, we can always just return you to your country, as opposed to abducting somebody. So that was very dark, and it falls squarely on the shoulders of the Tanzanian authorities. So the Tanzanian authorities are on the wrong, Musalia Mudavadi is also on the wrong. If he took that first step to call out the Tanzanians, not even Tanzanians, the Tanzanian authorities, I believe Boniface would have been released sooner. Instead, he came out and lectured Kenyans ati tunapeleka tabia mbaya kule. Then Boniface was abducted. We got in a back and forth with these guys online. And then finally, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a statement. That was a little too late. And whatever happened to Boniface Mwangi falls squarely on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and their lackluster response time. Because now everything is solid. If Suluhu comes to Kenya, she will be booed from the airport all the way to wherever it is she's going, and even on her way out. If Ruto is to go to Tanzania, I suspect he will also face the same kind of backlash. Maybe lighter, because they are a bit nicer. It's, you know, in the case of Americans and Canadians, Canadians are known to be softer. Even it's the same thing with Kenya and Tanzania. Tanzanians are more nicer. So I believe Ruto will not get a warm reception, but it will be kinder. If Suluhu came here, things would be haywire. All this because of a Ministry of Foreign Affairs that's slow to react. Had they penned a letter to the MFA of Tanzania as soon as possible, Boniface would have been released as soon as possible. There'd be no reason to discuss anything online. But here we are. I wonder if he'll be summoned to the National Assembly to explain why he has put us in such a bad diplomatic situation. But at the end of the day, guys, that's just my opinion. Do let me know your own comments in the comment section below. Do you think Mudavadi is to be blamed, or is it Boniface Mwangi? Just drop me your comments. I'll do our best to read them and to give you a response. In the event you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for mzitowafula. Hit the subscribe button. You're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really need to subscribe to. Alright guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.